And welcome back into the Lax Cat Coliseum for the second half of play between the U of A Lax Cats and the visiting Arizona State Sun Devils. And just in case you missed it at the break, our email is lacrossebroadcasting@gmail.com, right there on your screen. Email us if you have any questions, compliments, or complaints, whatever it may be, let us know. We'd love to be in contact with you. But for right now, we are awaiting the opening face-off between these two teams to start off the second half. Looks like John Bush has come away with it for the Lax Cats, as the score now stands at 3-1, ASU with the lead, 10 seconds into this quarter.
Happened so far in this game, it's been a lot of ASU on that transition game, although in the second quarter there, U of A came away very strongly on the defensive end, stopping them from scoring a single goal and getting another goal themselves.
And now it looks like Zach Johnson was almost horse-collared right there as he was dragged to the ground trying to cut inside around the net. Couldn't quite make it through.
Cats go on the man up.
And the Lax Cats will have a man up right now, trying to take some offensive momentum early in this third quarter of action.
And it was an interesting little way for him to go down there. He looked like he was going to have a clear shot. The ASU defender got him up around the head and caused him to fall down. It was an easy call for the refs, and they certainly did get the call right. As Arizona's going to take this man-up opportunity, close this gap, hopefully for them, get it down to 1.
And now across the field is going around the horn here as William Standeback looks for the pass inside, barely kept in by Jordan Goldstein, and now a shot fired by Levi Pellegrin, but it won't go through. Good defensive awareness from Westfall. Now on the other end, the Sun Devils try to get it through, but it's broken up. Good stick work there by Chris Plummer, and now Plummer takes a tumble, and he's trying to come away with it. Lost sight of the ball as Dan Davis came away with it. Now up to Martinick, who gets the pass over, and a goal there. Payson Clark yet again as the Sun Devils take a 4-1 lead. The pass from Martinick to Clark, and finally a goal.
That was some great work right there by the Sun Devils. At first they missed the initial opportunity. It looked like they were going to have a fast break opportunity, but U of A defenders caught up with them and made a 4-on-4. ASU kind of forced the pass, but managed to come away with a ground ball, and then worked in by Ben Martinick to Clark there to finish it off and open this game up again to 4-1.
Seemed like, again, the confusion getting the better of these Lax Cats as the turnover had all the heads turned in the opposite direction and not enough people going back. But now the Sun Devils have it again off the Zach Handy face-off win. Cooper Piquel working his way inside. But now with it, Justin Straker gets another goal, back-to-back, in less than half a minute there. And the Sun Devils are now leading it 5-1 over the U of A Lax Cats. The goal was actually scored by number...
And there was a big assist right there by Sun Devil player number 3.
William Spetter with the assist on that one. Justin Straker with the goal. And now a scrum in the face-off circle as the Sun Devils again come away with it. Cooper Piquel driving inside, passing it over to Clark. Actually, Straker it was. Now Spetter picking it up, firing it home. The Sun Devils cannot be stopped. Winning face-off after face-off, getting goal after goal. And they now lead it 6-1 with just over 13 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
And that's going to be marked up as 3 goals for the Sun Devils right there. It was score, score, score. And it looks like Arizona's going to call a timeout right here. Mickey Miles going to try and settle his team down after they kind of collapsed right there, giving ASU the big lead. That's currently a 5-point deficit, only 2 minutes into this third quarter. And despite very strong defensive play by the Lax Cats in that last quarter there, they kind of collapsed and given this.
So just to recap that wild few minutes of action, Payson Clark scored the first one to lead it off and take the lead 4-1. He was assisted by Ben Martinick. Number 8, Justin Straker, taking the next one, and he was assisted by number 3, William Spetter. And then the third goal was scored again by Straker.
Yep, certainly he's finding a goal today. That's actually going to mark it up as a hat trick for him already in the third quarter. I wouldn't be surprised to see him score some more, but already a big day for him. He's having a fantastic game against the rival Lax Cats.
And clearly, winning the face-offs is a big deal in this one, as they've been doing an outstanding job of winning them so far in this one. Zach Handy coming up big, the freshman facing up against Jonathan Bush, the senior face-off specialist on the opposing team. But the Lax Cats do still have the home field advantage here at Lax Cat Coliseum. They're going to try to bring it back into perspective as they are facing a 1-6 deficit coming out of the timeout called by Coach Mickey Miles Felton. However, Handy again coming up big, and the Sun Devils have possession once more.
Handy winning these faceoffs certainly gives ASU a big edge. They keep getting the ball on offense. They keep getting opportunities to score. As Westfall now just kind of walks around as he waits for Johnson to come.
And Westfall's pass is tipped up by his teammate, number 8, John Little, who ended up taking a fall along the sideline. And now it's in the possession of the Lax Cats. Mike Hook is going to take it in.
Yeah, that was some good quick pressure right there by Johnson, forcing the bad pass, giving his team the ball again.
And if you're a player like Mike Hook or William Stanback, now is the time to prove your worth. Now is the time to step up, start scoring those goals, get going offensively, and bring this game back into perspective for these Lax Cats. Up top, Jordan Goldstein with it. Finds his teammate, number 24, Anthony Jenkins. And they're trading it back and forth, looking for a man inside, but they'll drop it down on the far end to Zach Johnson. Johnson stopped short by John Little. Now Jenkins with it. Guarded by Cooper Piquel. And now it looks like they'll run a bit of an isolation here. Jenkins going to try a drive inside. Looks for the pass to Stanback, but it's high over his head. And this ball is going in the Sun Devils' favor.
Sun Devil ball.
And this has been all Sun Devils to start off this half, Brian. Coming into it, they were up 3-1. Suddenly a 6-1 lead, and now with possession yet again.
Yeah, it definitely looked like U of A figured out how to settle down on defense. And then, of course, the ASU defense has been solid all game, stacking guys up in the middle, not allowing anything inside. And it's worked for them so far, only allowing that one goal to Mike Hook.
And again, for those of you that missed the first half, due to our technical difficulties, it will be archived and put up on Vimeo.com. And a goal scored there, Logan Quinn cutting up on the inside. And that's another one, padding this ASU lead. Now up 7-1 are the Sun Devils. And this Lax Cat defense has fallen apart over the last few minutes.
Yeah, on that one right there, he's being defended by number 31, Nick Gizzy. Looks like Gizzy kind of expected somebody to come up and help him out from behind, but nobody was there to pick up Logan Quinn as he just took a free shot and put that one in the top corner, giving ASU this 6-point lead.
And that's Quinn's second goal of the day. His first came to take a 3-0 lead back in the first quarter. And now the Sun Devils with a turnover at about midfield. But as I was saying, right before the goal was scored, the first half's video will be archived on Vimeo.com, as will this one. And we'll be getting those details out to you. Just contact your respective coaches to figure that one out. But right now, we'll get back to the action for those of you watching. You're watching an ASU versus U of A lacrosse game out here in Lax Cat Coliseum in Tucson, Arizona. I'm Trey Lanthier alongside Brian Edwards. And this score stands at 7-1 right now, as the Sun Devils have a commanding lead. Lax Cats unable to score. They've only dropped one in that second quarter of action.
Yeah, it looks like U of A is definitely trying to work stuff on the inside. They keep on crowding guys in the middle right in front of the crease there. Just has not worked for them, as ASU's countering it by simply putting more of their guys in the middle. And right there, their offense resulted in another turnover. And that's been the story for this U of A offense all game, is they continually turn it over with bad passes.
And it seems like the team is ill-prepared right now, but they still have a chance in this one. Joseph Cosgrove for the Devils, though, been doing quite a bit of work. Did come up with an assist on the pass to Payson Clark back in the first quarter. However, now he's going to retreat with the ball.
Cooper Pickell is just going to settle things down, let his offense set up, allow a chance for substitutions.
And Pickell trying to break his way inside, pitches it down to Dan Davis. And now over to Payson Clark on the far side. He can't lay a move on his defender. Tries a bounce shot, but it won't go. However, ASU looks to win the chase here, and it'll stay in the Devils' favor.
Clark tried to sneak one in there and add to his hat trick that he's already registered on the day. Didn't quite get through, but Sun Devil Dan Davis was there to back it up and get that ball as he brings it back in.
And Mac Duke Rosati was on the defense on Clark there. And now breaking it up for the Lax Cats was Chris Plummer, and they're going to call it in the favor of Arizona. Trying to get some momentum going. This Lax Cat offense needs to start picking up the pace, and they're going to start it off with a midfield pass to number 23, Adam DeLuca, who tries to work his way inside with a shot. Instead, it's recovered by Zach Johnson, who works his way inside, and a shot just to the left of Dylan Westfall. However, Westfall's able to pick it up. Then a misintended pass for Zach Mendoza, and turning right back over to the Lax Cats.
Yeah, it was kind of a risky pass by Westfall right there. He got the ground ball easily enough, but with the U of A defender on him, Mike Hook, chasing him down, he kind of turned around and flipped that one back for his own teammate. Just didn't quite make it to him and went out of bounds.
Mike Hook with it right now, drops it up top for Austin Chapman. And now setting back up is Robert Ecker before driving inside. Looks for the pass to his man in the crease, but it's broken up by strong defense from ASU. However, a flag is down on the field. Looks like this one's going to go against the Sun Devils and give the Lax Cats a man-up advantage.
Yeah, that one looked like it might have been a holding or potentially maybe a slashing down low near the crease away from the ball. So while the penalty itself didn't have much implications on the play, it's still going to affect the ASU right here as they're now man down, giving Arizona, the Lax Cats, another chance to score and then lessen this gap a little bit.
And Arizona going to need to start it hot now. Maybe they're only down 6 goals, and it's not insurmountable. They can score it in the matter of a quarter, but they have to get something started as William Standaback is lined up behind the net. But good defense there from Ian Anderson to break it up. Actually, Cooper Pickell was on the defense there.
Westfall's directing traffic as he's getting his team ready for the clear, and he finds a big pass to Logan Quinn, who takes it across.
And Quinn is working his way into the offensive zone. And now slowing it up is William Spetter from behind the goal. He'll get it over to Zach Scarano.
Scarano's just going to settle things down despite a little bit of pressure right here. Give his team a chance to set up.
Scarano still weaving in and out before pitching it back up top. Now Logan Quinn with it at dead center. Fans look pretty happy about something. Not quite sure what. However, the Sun Devils continue to set up offensively as Logan Quinn slowly progressing, now putting the Jets on as he tries to lay a move on his man.
And despite some quick feet right there, he got stonewalled and had to give the ball back to Justin Straker. Then he gets the ball back and taking another opportunity to settle down and get something going.
And now Quinn again behind the net, again laying a move on his defender, almost with the shot going through. Just won't be quite enough. However, the Sun Devils will still have it, as winning the chase on the other end was Zach Scarano. Substitutions, couple of them being made here. As number 12 for the Lax Cats, Brent Cambra the senior on his senior day, comes out. And an Arizona chant starts up once more. We haven't seen much of this in this quarter so far, Brian.
Yep, U of A fans just trying to get back on their team, hopefully to build up some momentum, get them back in this game.
Dan Davis tries to pull a move, but instead pulls it back out and back up to Logan Quinn it goes. And the Sun Devils have been doing a good job of just killing the clock as they've held on to the ball for quite some time in this quarter. A lot of offensive momentum for them. As now Dan Davis drops it to Ben Martinick behind the goal. And he's just going to let his offense set up.
Looks like Martinick's going to take a shot.
Martinick almost connecting with Straker, who is cutting across the middle.
Lax Cat ball!
And Logan Quinn made a diving effort for that one. Didn't quite make it, though. And the Lax Cats will take it as Chris Plummer is going to put it in for the Wildcats.
Looked like Logan Quinn actually might have dove a little early there. Misjudged which line was the actual sideline.
And now another timeout on the field. Not quite sure who called it.
On the field.
As the teams are going to take a break right here, settle things down.
But again, just to clear up that first half, we had a bit of difficulty connecting with the internet. Couldn't get the stream going online, but it will show up as an archived video on Vimeo.com pretty soon. If you're interested in getting that link, contact your coach or contact us at lacrossebroadcasting@gmail.com. That's lacrossebroadcasting@gmail.com. We'll send you the link if you need it. You can also email us if you have any questions or concerns regarding our game broadcast. We're free to any and all criticism. And for those of you just joining us, I'm Trey Lanthier, joined by Brian Edwards here at the Lax Cat Coliseum in a rivalry matchup that'll determine the winner of the SLC South Division. And the Sun Devils currently lead it 7-1 over the Lax Cats with just over 6 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And despite there being a total of 21 minutes left to play in this game, things are starting to look slightly bleak for U of A as they haven't found any success offensively. They've been stonewalled by the likes of Ian Connell and Ian Anderson, and of course Westfall stopping most of the shots that have come his way so far into the game. And strong ASU offensive play maintaining that ball possession has allowed for this deficit to continue to grow.
Well, and Brian, we talked about how this is a historic matchup between these two teams. They played 5 times in their program's history. Arizona State took the last 3, but Arizona started off with 2 wins to start the series. And the series did begin back in 2006. So it's been going for quite some time. These teams building a lot of tension between themselves. U of A is 1-1 all time at home against the Arizona State University.
And of course, like you said, the last 3 games of that series have been won by ASU. And right now ASU is looking to make that 4 in a row as they take the ball off on the offense here, looking to get this gap even bigger.
And a flag is down on the field as the Devils set up their offense. And pointing it out on the far side was Justin Straker. He knows that they've got an advantage right now. Passes it up to Ben Martinick. They're trying to get some offense going here as Cooper Piquel trying to make a move on his defender. Finds a man inside. Logan Quinn fires, but it won't go. My mistake, I believe that was Payson Clark on the inside there as another flag falls to the field.
There's actually a total of 3 flags on the field right now, although it looks like 2 of them might have been thrown for the same penalty. Refs just seeing the same thing going on. So play's going to be stopped as the ball went out of bounds on that shot. ASU is going to maintain possession of the ball as the refs figure out who to take out of the game.
But Brian, we talked about the history between these two teams. The last 3 matchups that ASU has won, they've won by more than 7 goals. So it's not too unfamiliar for them to be up early like this against their rivals. However, if you're the U of A Wild or Lax Cats, this is probably one of the best seasons in your program history. You want to try to keep it going and finish strong and possibly take an SLC South title, but you've got to start picking up your offense, and it all starts on the defensive end with stopping this ASU offense.
All right, and after play started up again, it does look like the penalties were on Arizona, as we saw before.
Logan Quinn with it. Finds his man inside. It's Clark. Nice save there by Ian Parker.
Stoned by Ian Parker.
Stonewalling that one, as the PA announcer likes to say here. So now the Lax Cats will have it. And that's a big-time stop by Ian Parker there. That's the momentum you need. Now head back to the other end if you're the Lax Cats. Try to get something going. It's 4.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter of action. You want to try to trim that lead down just a bit so you can at least have a chance to come back in that fourth quarter, Brian.
Yeah, they're going to need to build some sort of momentum here to end this quarter here so that they have a chance to finish the game. But strong defensive play by ASU is making it difficult for U of A throughout the whole entire game, and right now
number 20 firing a shot, almost found his way through. That was Austin Chapman firing away there. But Dylan Westfall, aware play. However,
What's the call, ref?
the Sun Devils are going to get it. Fans aren't too pleased with it. Thought it should have gone to the Wildcats. And now the Sun Devils are looking to trim a bit more time off that clock, which is working against U of A. And maybe they do have 18 minutes and change to work with, but at the same time, Brian, as you know in the game of lacrosse, time can be very valuable, especially when you're looking at a 6-goal deficit. However, a crucial turnover right there, as Ian Anderson can't scoop it up.
3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining for buying
Anthony Jenkins is going to take it in for the Lax Cats. And Jenkins finds William Stanaback, who tried to make a move on Anderson, couldn't quite do it. But now he does recover the ball. Makes a spin on him. And Stanaback still looking for his man, looking for Jenkins, but the misintended pass. However, Jenkins will get it, as Cooper Bikel wasn't putting on a chase there. Just over 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter of action. And the Sun Devils still leading at 7-1. On the far end, Levi Pellegrin working it behind the net and dropping it off for Mike Hook. Hook now trying to weave his way through a couple defenders. Trying to pull off the same stun he did earlier, but that one's going to go off the side of the net. And it's picked up by Robert Ecker. So up top to Pellegrin, who's working his way inside. Makes it past a couple defenders, but it's broken up. However, coming up with the loose change was Robert Ecker before pulling back out of the crease. And now going to try to set up once more are the U of A Lax Cats.
That was another good drive by U of A right there, but a last-second stick check saved that from being a potential shot attempt. But U of A, like you said, is going to maintain possession here and give a chance to set up.
And Hook's going to send it up top for Pellegrin. Pellegrin does work inside, and a shot fired from William Stanaback. And the chase is won by the Sun Devils.
And despite not finding much offensive opportunity in their current setup, Arizona's maintained to the same offense throughout the game. With only 2 minutes here left in the third quarter, I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see them change things up. They've been running a 1-4-1 for pretty much the entire game, but ASU's been able to counter it easily by just stacking men of their own in front of the crease, not giving them anything inside.
And Dylan Westfall again with a sloppy pass. We've seen quite a bit of that from both teams so far today. ASU just been a bit more offensively efficient in this one, as they've been able to put 7 goals home to U of A's 1. However, the Lax Cats have all the chances to get back in it as the Sun Devils continue turning the ball over. But right now with it, William Stanaback on the far right side trying to get something going as he's being defended by Dan Davis. Gets it over to Hook, facing up against the defensive Ian Connell. Hook does make his move. However, he can't break through on the drive. Gets it up to Jordan Goldstein. And Goldstein being defended by Ryan Page. Goldstein working inside, finds an opening, and fires, scores! Goldstein with a goal, and it's now a 7-2 game. The Lax Cats getting something started here. The fans are enjoying it as they're right back in this one with a bit of momentum. Just over a minute to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it seems like it's been about 30 minutes of game time since we've seen the Lax Cats add to their score. That one coming from Goldstein, like you just said, he took a nice solid drive, beat his man, got a shot down on the ground, and Westfall just wasn't able to come up with the save. Lowering that deficit to only 5 points as ASU is going to hold on to a 7-2 lead. The minute left in the third quarter.
And ASU's defense failed to close out on him right there. They've been doing a good job of it all game long, but finally Goldstein penetrating through on a very aggressive play, and it benefited this team as they're able to come up with their second goal on that one. But another flag is thrown on the ASU offensive zone. We've seen a lot of calls go against the Wildcats so far today.
Yeah, it just seems like they haven't been able to catch a break here. They keep getting caught doing something they shouldn't be doing. It's giving ASU the edge. It's making U of A players work a bit harder than they need to, constantly on the man down. And it's kind of showing as ASU, of course, got that big break, scoring 3 goals in that 1 minute, taking advantage of a Wildcat team that's a little overworked from constantly being man down.
32 seconds and counting. And remember, the Sun Devils did have a goal in the final 6 seconds of their last game in the first half against the UNLV Rebels, trying to replicate that. Logan Quinn actually had that goal for them. Now inside is Payson Clark, but he passes it back out. Now working it around. Logan Quinn with it, taking a quick look at the clock. 10 seconds remaining. And I'm not sure if he saw the clock or maybe they're just going to let it wind out and bring this half to a close. But Quinn is penetrating, does fire a shot. It's a bit too high on the sidearm, and the score stands at 7-2 after 3 quarters of play. So Brian, finally the Lax Cats scoring that second goal, and they're only down 5. They have a chance to bring it back into perspective for their team, and they just have to start building on the momentum they set for themselves with that goal right there.
Yeah, they certainly need to show that they're not done quite yet, but of course they do need to settle things down. Offense needs to maintain possessions, like we just saw there. They had the ball for, it looked like maybe a minute and a half. They just worked that ASU defense until they finally managed to catch a break and put one behind Westfall. Their defense was, again, solid after that slight breakdown at the beginning of the third quarter.
And this press box is hopping right now. We've got a "Who Let the Dogs Out" chant coming from up here, and a couple dancers to join them. And mind you, not female dancers, unfortunately, but we'll take what we can get as the U of A fans are getting lively out here. They're trying to pump up their team and overcome a 5-goal deficit heading into the final quarter. For those of you that missed any of the action, in that first half we had technical difficulties. The half was recorded, though, and it will be going up on Vimeo.com. To have the exact link, please email us at lacrossebroadcasting@gmail.com. That's lacrossebroadcasting@gmail.com. Email us if you have any question, concerns, or if you just like the link to the archive video, whatever it takes. But now the teams will get set up for the fourth quarter of action. Just a quick shout out right here, though, as this is a product of the WCHBO. The WCHBO is an organization dedicated to providing professional quality broadcasts to the state of Arizona. The broadcast team is well known for its on-divorce calling games for Arizona State, the Arizona Redhawks, the Arizona High School State Playoffs, and even USA Hockey. Quite the successful organization run by students out of the Walter Cronkite University of Journalism and Mass Communication. So a face-off is awaiting us between Zach Handy and Jonathan Bush to try and start off this quarter strong. And the Lax Cats need to fight back. Jonathan Bush is trying to fire his fans up, as is number 30 of the Lax Cats, and that's Ryan Baker. Both of them pumping their sticks in the air, and you can see both benches hopping up and down. And this is the final quarter of a game that could decide the SLC South, Brian. The winner will come away victorious in the division and the loser will have to play a first-round game in the playoffs. So this face-off is going to be huge to start off this quarter. The Lax Cats looking to build off the momentum they started with that goal late in the third quarter, and the Sun Devils looking to shut them down and put this game away.
Yeah, man, of course, yeah. ASU has that advantage right now, 5 points up. And ASU comes away with the face-off, so they get things going in this fourth quarter here. Is Cooper Pickell with the ball, settling things down for the offense to set up. He passes it up to Zach Scarano as they continue to wait. And Scarano's going to work it down behind the cage. And the rest of his team goes up beyond it. He's going to look to get something going right here in the fourth quarter.
And now working around on the inside, Zach Scarano, but he'll pitch it back behind the net for his man, number 21, Ben Martinick. But Martinick won't penetrate, instead dropping it back to Scarano. 14 minutes remaining in the game, and shot fired off the side of the net. And on the chase down, looks like the U of A Wildcats are coming away with it. Ian Parker doing a good job on the hustle right there, Brian.
Yeah, it looked like ASU was going to get the ball retained right there, but Parker came out sprinting hard, managed to win that ball for his team, give them a chance to close this deficit a little bit more.
And Brian, we mentioned the SLC South clearly going to be the winner of this game coming away with it. That's ASU and Arizona atop the division right now. But then you look up to the SLC North. That's when you start getting competitive, as UC Santa Barbara, Chapman, and Claremont are all over 500. Actually, every team in the division is at least 500. Claremont 8-5, Chapman 13-3, and UC Santa Barbara is 11-1 right now. So clearly a stock North Conference, but the SLC South is competitive as well, with ASU and Arizona, the two teams you're watching right here, deking it out for the final game in this one. Now behind the net for the Lax Cats is number 20, Austin Chapman.
And it looks like the Lax Cats are finally trying to do something a little bit different on offense here after seeing themselves get continually stuffed in the first 3 quarters of play. They're changing things up, moving things around.
And now for the inner feed. It was intended for Standaback. Didn't even look like he was prepared to catch it, as Mike Hook trying to connect with his man. Now Justin Straker coming away with a loose ball on the other end, trying to work his way inside. Payson Clark is set up in the crease, but now the Sun Devils are going to relax and run some more clock. 2.5 minutes gone in this fourth quarter of play. Only 12.5 left in regulation between these two teams. The Sun Devils lead it 7-2 as it stands right now. And with it up top, Zach Scarano letting his offense set up a little bit here. As finally coming in to help is Ben Martinick. And again, slowing things up. He's working on defender Brent Cambra before pitching it over to Straker. And back to Martinick.
Martinick and Scarano kind of working off the side right here, trying to maybe work some little pick and roll action. Trip up their defenders as a pass to Scarano's dropped, but he picks it back up.
Scarano now driving inside, going to fire on net. And it looks
scores.
like they scored there. A bit of confusion. Ian Parker probably thought he broke through the crease there, but they're going to give him the goal. So ASU now leading it 8-2.
Right after the score there, though, it looks like Scarano might have been hit hard as he's now on the ground.
And
team
rushing
trainers come to help
off
him
the
out.
bench is Coach Chris Malone, as well as ASU's trainer. A flag still down on the field. Refs have yet to make a call on it. But all eyes are on Zach Scarano, who's still lying on the field. Took a hard hit on the penetration, was able to score the goal. But everyone in the stadium right now hoping that he's all right. Chris Malone, coach of the Sun Devils, is going to come away with his stick. So it doesn't seem like Scarano's going to be coming back in this one. But right now, checking to make sure he's okay is ASU's trainer down on the field right now.
And that's unfortunate for Scarano right there. He's been a huge part of this offense continually.
And Scarano does rise to his feet as he's now being escorted off the field by the trainer. Looking for a stick for a moment there, unaware his coach had already picked it up and taken it back to the bench.
I mean, he's walking off on his own power, so things are looking good for Scarano. Maybe it looks like he maybe had the wind knocked out of him, but things are looking good. He's going to come off to the side, make sure everything's good, get checked out once more.
Scarano, definitely a huge contributor in this game. Although he hasn't found his way into the stat sheet other than that goal, he's always a good facilitator on the offensive end, makes sure that the ball continues to move. And he did get a goal through there to start off this fourth quarter box score.
And now right after this goal here, a big scrum for the ball after the face-off as the two teams fight for possession. U of A kicking it away and looking to come away with it as another flag is thrown. The ball goes out of bounds.
And after Scarano's goal there, the Sun Devils do have a commanding 6-goal lead over the Lax Cats. And Arizona's going to have to change something up if they want to fight their way back in this one. The offense just hasn't been there this entire game. They need to start penetrating a bit more, get something going, look for Stanback to start stepping it up. We've been waiting to see him all game long. But so far, the only contributors for U of A have been number 2, Mike Hook, and number 6, Jordan Goldstein, both unassisted goals. Aside from that, haven't seen any offense from this U of A squad, and they're going to have to put something together to make a comeback here in this final 11 minutes of regulation.
And after that little scrum right there, ASU was penalized, so they're now one man down, leaving things even as both teams are going through some penalty minutes.
And U of A's penalty minutes being assessed on the Scarano hit. And now U of A trying to set up some offense. This is Zach Johnson up top and looks down low for Mike Hook, who is being guarded by Zach Mendoza. Hook slowing things up, looking to the sidelines for a play call as number 43, that's Levi Pellegrin, works his way inside, and now Stanback trying to get something going as Mike Hook chases down the rebound. So they'll have a second chance opportunity here. But Stanback finally getting something going, and now he's set up behind the net, looks inside for his man, almost there, trying to connect with Robert Ecker, who is crashing on the inside. Now Levi Pellegrin fires a shot on net, and it's not going to be called a goal. Looks like it was stopped right at the goal line. Fans are not happy with that call, as it looked like Dylan Westfall might have let it get through, but the refs are going to say it didn't cross the line. So now ASU is heading back the other direction. That goal would have been huge, Brian. Would have cut this lead back to 5, as there are under 10 minutes to play in this game.
And that's an unfortunate call for the Lax Cats right there. It looks like Levi Pellegrin might have scored on that one right there after Westfall wasn't able to come up with the ball. But some quick stick work by an ASU defender kept the ball from completely crossing the line.
6-7-0.
And a timeout is on the field, and we'll be back shortly after a quick break.
7. Blue ticket.
And we're back. The winner of the raffle has just been decided. Seems like he won $82. Big-time jackpot right there out here in Lax Cat Coliseum. And as we said just before the break, there are under 10 minutes to play between these two teams in this rivalry matchup that'll decide the SLC South. The Lax Cats trailing the Sun Devils 2-8 as it stands right now, trying to fight their way back into it, but the Sun Devils continue to put the pressure on. And Brian, you talk about what a missed opportunity that was right there in front of the net. Looked like it would have gone through any other day, but Dylan Westfall did a good job of stopping it short. And apparently the winner of the raffle decided to donate it back to the Lax Cats. What a quality character. So now that the raffle is concluded, all eyes return to the game as they're coming out of a timeout. Payson Clark with it for the Sun Devils. Actually down low is number 14, A.J. Schaffner. He also had a goal back in that UNLV game a week ago for the Sun Devils. He's being well defended by number 31, Nick Gizzi. Still trying to make a move, and A.J. Schaffner does have a set of legs, a lot of speed to go with him. As he's just taking it all by himself right now, back and forth behind the goal.
Schaffner doesn't have much reason to do anything else with it. If they're just going to let him run back and forth, they're going to let him do it. Because time is on ASU's side at this moment, as they have a 6-goal lead with only 4 minutes left to play in the last period.
And now a misintended pass for Schaffner. It's going to turn the ball over, and the Lax Cats now with it. Going to try to get that offense going. They had it well in their last possession. It was broken up by what fans thought should have been a goal. And now number 4, Brendan Felix, bringing it up in a wide pass. But it does connect to his man, William Standaback, getting wrapped up and finally thrown to the ground. Fans are very unhappy with that one. But the call will go. And William Standaback now getting back to his feet. And if you think about it, Brian, Standaback's been held down by these ASU defenders all day long, but finally trying to penetrate through.
ASU's defense has been on top of him for pretty much the entire game. He hasn't had much opportunity to do anything. The few looks he has had have either resulted in drops, passes, or just being saved by Westfall.
And in the SLC, William Standaback considered the number 1 player in both points and points per game. He has 59 points on the season. The next competitor on that list is Mike Hook, his teammate, with 46. So clearly U of A has a strong dynamo put together. And this duo trying to keep it going in this game. But only Hook has found his way onto the scoreboard, and that was 1 goal of U of A's 2 on the day. But now Payson Clark trying to lay a move on his defender. That's number 37, Rosati. As Logan Quinn now starting to kill some clock himself. Under 8 minutes to play. And the Lax Cats have to start thinking of how they can turn this ball over and get another possession. Logan Quinn pitching it inside to Payson Clark. Straker with it. Fan on the shot. Now drops it down behind the net again to Logan Quinn.
And Quinn's just going to continue to maintain ball possession, work that clock down, trying to get this game over with.
And Quinn working against Ryan Baker back there. Baker trying to keep up with him, but Quinn just continuing to kill clock. Not enough pressure being put on by Baker. Quinn working inside, and a shot fired, but broken up by Ian Parker. However, Kyle Dennis comes away with a rebound. Now a shot again. Again, though, Ian Parker with the play, and the Lax Cats come away with it. What a big-time defensive play there on 2 separate occasions from Ian Parker. Stonewalling one player and then recovering the ball on the other side. However, the Sun Devils do come away with the ball as they say a player was tripped up. Looks like either Logan Quinn or Payson Clark ended up on the ground after that play.
And after the big save by Parker there, big goal coming in from Payson Clark.
And Clark, not sure how he pulled that one off, one of the most awkward angles I've ever seen a shot fired from, but it would go through, and Clark now with yet another goal on the day. 9-2 it stands. Payson Clark so far with 3 goals on the day, and that's going to give him the hat trick so far in this one.
That one just kind of fell apart for U of A right there. After the big save by Ian Parker, Parker went out and hit either Clark or Logan Quinn. Refs didn't like what they saw, so they gave the ball back to ASU, and ASU quickly banged the ball around, got it to Clark, who got the shot off.
So a timeout is on the field as it stands right now. Just a quick update for those of you that didn't quite make it through the first or the third quarter, or maybe you're still confused on what happened in the first half. It was recorded, and the recording will go up on Vimeo.com. If you would like that recording, we can send you the link. Just email us at lacrossebroadcasting@gmail.com. We'll have it to you by sometime tomorrow, I'm sure. And if you're enjoying this presentation, or maybe you have a complaint about it, whatever it may be, just email us right there, and we'll try to fix up whatever the problem may be. Thank you for tuning in, and this is brought to you by WCHBO and SDSN, as we have under 7 minutes to play here in the rivalry matchup between the U of A Lax Cats and the visiting Arizona State Sun Devils. Still high tensions flying between these two teams, although the Lax Cats may be all but out of it in this one, Brian, as there are 7 goals separating them from the tie.
Yeah, and with less than 7 minutes to play, 6:44 to be exact, things are not looking good for the Lax Cats at this last home game of the season for them. This, of course, being the senior night for several of the Lax Cats,
including Mike Hook, who happens to be one of their highest offensive contributors, amassed 33 points total as a midfielder in his first 3 seasons here. Then this year burst open, ended up scoring 46 in his new position as an attacker.
And after that goal right there, ASU's Zach Handy won another face-off, giving ASU the possession once again with under 6.5 minutes to play.
And up top with it, Kyle Dennis trading it back and forth with Nick Hillier. And this crowd has quieted. Not much to celebrate about for either team so far in these past few minutes. ASU did come away with a goal, padding that lead. And now we're down to 6 minutes to play. ASU leading it 9-2 as it stands right now.
And now U of A doubling the ball, trying to get that ball back as they are down with under 6 minutes to go, trying to give them their offense a chance to spark a comeback.
And Scarano is back into the game. Nice to know he's fine, as he's being roughed up by a U of A defender. However, he's still weaving in and out behind the net. And now the Lax Cats have relieved their pressure as Chris Plummer tries to take it back. But a timeout is finally called from Coach Chris Malone of the Sun Devils. And Payson Clark motioning to the fans in the stands here for ASU. With under 5.5 to play, ASU leading it 9-2 over the home U of A Lax Cats. You're listening to College Lacrosse here, presented to you by the WCHBO and SDSN. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this short break. And welcome back into the Lax Cat Coliseum. Getting a bit of music playing up here. Got to be dancing, having a good time always, as we're witnessing a game between the U of A Lax Cats and the visiting Arizona State Sun Devils. Sun Devils with a commanding 9-2 lead as it stands right now, coming out of this timeout with under 5.5 to play.
Lax Cat fans, let's give it up for your seniors here on Senior Day.
And the PA announcer crying for some support here, as the Lax Cats going to need something of a miracle here, Brian, to bring this back.
Yeah, we came in this one expecting a big duel in the desert, this final clash between rivals ASU and U of A. But as things turned out, it's been a little bit more one-sided than expected, as ASU has a 7-point lead going into the last 5.5 minutes here.
On Arizona coming into this game ranked number 20 in the MCLA, whereas ASU ranked number 7. A matchup between two top 25 teams. You usually wouldn't expect it to be this lopsided. But as we've mentioned previously, Brian, the Lax Cats having trouble connecting on their passes and looking really sloppy on the offensive end, trying to connect with their guys cutting through the middle, just can't get it done.
Yep, and on top of those passes, just not connecting for them has been penalties not helping U of A either. As we're seeing right now, there was another flag thrown against the Lax Cats, creating another man-down situation for them as the clock is now under 5 minutes and the ASU still leading at 9-2.
And it seems like ASU's strategy right now, just running off some clock and ensuring that they get the victory. Under 5 minutes to play out here in Lax Cat Coliseum. I'm Trey Lanthier, joined by Brian Edwards, and you're watching an ASU U of A matchup. ASU in maroon and gold, U of A in white and red. As this ASU continues to play this slow ball style. Logan Quinn finally driving into the offensive zone, but he'll bring it back out, faced with some feisty defense from his man, number 12, for the Lax Cats. Logan Quinn, though, making a spin move to get around him, but he's going to pass down behind the net to Payson Clark. And trying to put pressure on Clark, but to no avail are the Lax Cats rather. So slowing things up. Ian Parker coming all the way out of his net to play that ball. Now we're down to 3:45 in this one. Still faced with a 7-goal deficit. The Lax Cats trying to gain back possession. And now behind the net is Payson Clark yet again. Getting a little roughed up there.
And despite the defense working hard here, they are, or were a man down. ASU is just working the ball around, maintaining that possession and killing the clock.
And to continue killing the clock is exactly the strategy. The U of A players look worn down, can't seem to keep up with the conditioning. And Dan Davis right now outrunning a couple defenders. Finally, though, a tip ball, as that's number 11 for the Lax Cats. But coming back up with it are the Sun Devils. And now on the other end with it is Dan Davis, still slowing things up. Finally putting some pressure on him are the Lax Cats.
And despite doubling the ball, every time two defenders do go out to the man carrying the ball, they're able to find who was left open, giving them an opportunity to continue to kill the clock with under 2.5 minutes to go here now.
Now Payson Clark in the near side corner. Just over 2 minutes to play, and the Sun Devils are waiting to crown themselves as the SLC South Division champions in this season. Their 8-5 record will move up to 9-5 if they do come away with a victory here, and it looks like they will with under 2 to play, still up 7 goals against the rival Lax Cats. And if with the loss, the Lax Cats will fall to 8-7 on the year and finish second place in the SLC South. So the Lax Cats would have to play a first-round game, and the Sun Devils would be accredited with a bye.
Coming right there was a strong defensive outing by the Lax Cats, forcing the ball away from Kyle Dennis. But they were unable to come up with the ground ball, and the ball was put out of bounds, allowing ASU to maintain the possession. It did look like it was a little controversial right there. Drew some ire from the fans, as it looked like Kyle Dennis might have kicked the ball out of bounds. But the ref called it in favor of the Sun Devils.
A minute 30 left. Now a minute 20, I should say, left in this game out in Lax Cat Coliseum. As the Sun Devils just winding down the clock. They've had possession for the last 4 minutes or so. The Lax Cats haven't been able to come away with it once. As Payson Clark at the top with it. Finally, though, looks like it's going to go in Lax Cats' favor.
And it looks like the Sun Devils might have left their restraining box right there. So they lost possession of the ball, giving Lax Cats another chance with under a minute here to go now. As they work the ball down on offense.
So now behind the net, William Stanaback trying to get something through. So far, though, Now inside, and a goal there for the U of A Lax Cats as Mike Hook puts it home yet again on the day.
By number 2, Michael Hook.
Yeah, but big goal right there by Mike Hook. Although the game is pretty much all but over, Mike Hook took a strong drive right there, show that Lax Cats aren't finishing this thing without a fight.
Well, and it's always good to finish a game strong, build some momentum heading into the postseason, because either way you look at it, with a loss or a win here, both teams are headed on to the playoffs, and they're going to look to make a splash. And this Lax Cat team, still something to deal with, as they are ranked number 20 in the country as it stands right now in the MCLA rankings. So the score will stand at 9-3, 26 seconds left to play in this one, as Dylan Westfall fires it all the way over to the other end. And ASU just going to run out the clock here. 15 seconds and counting. Yeah. We're under 10 to play. And the ASU Sun Devils are going to move on to a first-round bye and a 9-5 record on the year. The Arizona Wildcats going to drop to 8-7, but we'll expect to see both these teams deep in the postseason as they're both contending for a championship in the SLC.
That was a big one for ASU to come down to Tucson, play their rivals, and come out with a strong win. Great outing by the defense there, shutting down premier players in Mike Hook and William Stanaback.
But a great game played on both ends of the ball. If you look at it, Arizona fought through the entire game, tried to keep up with them, and they did cut it 2-5 at one point. But since that first quarter, ASU had the commanding lead. They were up 3-0 at the end of one, and by the time the third quarter came to a close, it was a 7-1 game, and U of A had no chance at coming back into it. Well, that'll do it for our game. Final score, ASU 9, U of A 3. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of SLC Lacrosse, brought to you in part by the WCHBO and SDSN. For Kent Edwards on camera, Ryan Hess running the tech, and Brian Edwards on color, I'm Trey Lanthier signing off.